So in the previous lecture, we will discussing about the directional overcurrent relays. Now, today we will discuss about the phasor diagram for the voltage and the current. We will discuss the phasor diagram for voltage and current for forward and the reverse faults. For forward and reverse faults. And we can consider this for a single phase system. Single phase system. Now you will see it's a doubly fed system, that is EA and EC. The two generators are there, and then we have the transmission line in that. And we will have the directional relay, which is used here. Now, if the directional relay is installed at here, then it can see it as a forward fault, and it will see it as a reverse fault. That is, behind that is the reverse fault, and that is above that it is you can say it is a forward fault. And here it is shows the phasor diagram of the voltage and the current at the relay location during the normal load conditions and during this reverse fault conditions and the forward fault conditions. So it is assumed that the voltage at the relay location remains constant in the magnitude. The voltage at the relay location, it remains constant in the magnitude as well as the phase, and it may be noted that as the fault moves from the front to the back, the current in the relay location, the current which the relay sees, it undergoes 180-degree change of the phase. So it will have 180-degree change of the phase when the fault moves from forward to the reverse. Now you can see now here you will have the VR is actually the voltage at the relay location VR. Then it is the current under the normal loading conditions. Now, whenever the fault occurs, let us suppose the forward fault occurs at this point. In that very case, the voltage remains, it is a kind of reference, it remains same. That is, the phase of the voltage remains same. However, the current it will see, let us suppose we assume that the highly inductive circuit, so it will lag, the fault current will lag, and then the fault current is given by, if the forward fault is there, then it is given by EA divided by this plus that is impedance BC, B to C up to this point, and then ZFF, that is ZFF, it is actually the impedance up to the fault point. So that is ZSA, then ZAB, this one, and then this B up to this fault point, it is called the ZFF. It is for the forward fault. And for the reverse fault, it is seen that, let us suppose that here it is the reverse fault. Then in that very case, the relay sees the current as it is fed by both the directions. From here also it will be fed, and from here also it will be fed. So if we take into consideration the current which is flowing from this, so we will have EC, that is voltage, divided by ZSE divided by the ZBC, that is this one, and ZFR. So you will see that there is the phase shift between the voltage and the current of 180 degree at the relay location, and this can be used to detect the direction of the fault and is the basis of the working of directional relay. So it can be used to detect the direction of the fault. Now, the basic concept which lies behind that is the fact that let us suppose that we have we have this let us suppose that we have the power, we have the voltage, let us suppose, and power is given by vi cos phi. Cos phi is actually the angle between the voltage and the current. So it is power equals to vi cos phi. So it is the angle between the voltage and the current. Now, if you take the case of the power, let us suppose that P is the power, then it is the voltage current into cos of phi. Now, let us suppose that we have power when the angle between this is positive. In that very case, the power is positive. Let us suppose that we have the positive power and it can be obtained if the angle between the voltage and the current is positive. That is, the cos phi is positive, and cos phi is positive between this plus 90 degree and minus 90 degree. So it means that this is the area in which the cos phi is positive, and in this area the power is positive, and as a result the torque is also positive. So the main idea behind that if this cos phi is positive, then the power is positive, and the torque is positive, and it is positive within the range of plus 90 to minus 90 to plus 90. So this thing we have to take into consideration, that power is positive from minus 90 to plus 90. And the main principle is involved in that main principle is involved in this kind of relay is that it will compare the phase angle, between voltage and the current. It will compare the phase angle between voltage and the current, and voltage is taken as the reference. And for the forward fault, let us suppose that we have the voltage here and current here. In that very case, it is this power is positive. Now let us suppose for the reverse fault, what happens? This is the reverse fault, this is the forward fault, and theta in this case is small. Now if this theta is small, then in that very case it is the forward fault, and if theta between the voltage and the current is large, this theta is large, then in that very case it is the reverse fault. So this relationship and this basic is used for this kind of relay, for the directional relay. So it is the basis of this relay that we have to develop the relationship such that the torque would be, power would be positive and torque would be positive. So it will trip so that we can have the perfect direction of our relay. Now, let us discuss the characteristics of that. Let us discuss this is the basic part which is involved in that. Then now let us discuss the characteristics and how we can implement that. We can discuss and draw the phasor diagram first we can understand that what's the concept that lies in that. Now, this directional relay, so we'll have the characteristics of the directional relay. Now, it is actually the induction directional relay based on the induction principle. So directional relay can be compared to the contact making wattmeter. So it is similar to the contact making wattmeter. And this is the principle is similar to that of the contact making wattmeter. In this wattmeter, we will have the current ICC from the CT, and then we have the current PC from the voltage VPC, which is from the PT. Now the direction is here arrow, then we will have the positive here and the negative here in that very case. Now you will see we can draw the this diagram of that one by one. Now, first of all, we will have the this PC, the voltage of the PC VPC. Now, first what we do, we will draw, like here it is drawn. Now we will draw the voltage VPC. This is the voltage across the this is the voltage across the PT, which voltage we got from the PT. And we also know the relationship that the operating torque is equals to or is directly proportional to phi PC that we have discussed in the previous lectures, then phi CC, and then we will have sine of, let's suppose, beta. Now we will have the VPC, with the VPC is coming from this. The VPC is coming from this potential, this PT. Now VPC is coming from this. Now, because of the VPC, the current that is coming is IPC. So since it is in the inductive circuit, so the current lags the voltage by some angle. So current lags the voltage by some angle, but not by an angle of 90 degree, because in case of purely inductive circuit, the angle is 90 degree. However, it will lag VPC by an angle of, let us suppose 80, 70 or 80 degree. So it is IPC. From the potential transformer, we get VPC and it will have the IPC. And this IPC, it will create the flux as phi PC. And the flux is in phase with IPC. So it will create the flux as phi PC. Now, the angle between VPC and IPC, let it be theta PC. Let it be theta PC. Now, for the production of the maximum torque, you will see from this relationship that for the production of the maximum torque, this angle between phi PC and phi CC should be equals to 90 degree for the production of the maximum torque. So this angle should be equals to 90 degree. Now, let us suppose this phi PC, it is coming from this, and we can vary the angle theta PC by varying the values of this capacitance. We can vary the angle by varying the value of this capacitance. Now, second, two fluxes are required for the production of the torque. One is phi PC, which is coming from this. Second is phi CC, and phi CC is, let us suppose that this phi CC, here we have the ICC, and this ICC, it will produce the phi CC, that is this one. So, as I said, that for the production of the maximum torque, the angle between this phi CC and phi PC, as per this, should be equals to 90. Now, let the angle between this ICC and VPC, let us take this angle as an angle of theta. This angle as an angle of theta. Now, for the production of the maximum torque, this IPC or phi PC, it should be 90 degree to IPC. Now, let us suppose we will take one more angle 90 degree for the maximum torque. If ICC, instead of this, it will be here ICC, then we will have the phi CC. Then in that very case, the maximum torque is produced because this phi CC and phi PC are 90 degree as per this relation. Now, you will see that this line at which the maximum torque is obtained, it is known as, this line is actually known as the maximum torque line. This line is known as the maximum torque line, that is from here to here. This line is known as the maximum torque line. Now, one more point that we have discussed is that in the in the discussion, that the power is maximum if we have the range, power is positive if we have the range of this range of this power from that is angle between the voltage and the current from plus 90 to minus 90. It means that the angle between the voltage and current, it means that this gives us, this is because of IPC and because of the VPC, and this is because of ICC. So VPC, this one, and ICC, this one, that is the current transformer. So the angle between this is this. So this angle should lie between plus 90 to minus 90 for the positive power and positive torque. So if we are taking this as IPC, then the angle between this should lie within this range. It means that this is the range, this whole is the range in which the power is positive up to this point. So This is the range in which the power is positive and torque is positive. Power is positive, then we will have the torque is positive, and as a result, we can call it as a trip region. Here it will trip. And here the region in which the angle is greater than plus minus 90, this region is known as the restraint region. It is known as the restraint region. So this region is known as the restraint region. Now our relay will trip if this is within that particular region, because in that very case the power would be positive and torque would also be positive. Now the angle between VPC and that is ICC for the maximum torque condition is given by tau. That is very important. Angle between VPC and ICC, VPC is coming from this, ICC is coming from this. So angle between that is known as the angle tau, and the angle tau is called the maximum torque angle. Angle tau is called the maximum torque angle. Tau is called the maximum torque angle. Now, from this relation, we will see that this tau, this maximum torque angle, it is equals to this 90, total 90, the angle between this is total 90, minus this theta PC. So the maximum torque angle is equals to 90 minus theta PC, and the maximum torque angle can be varied by varying this capacitance in this circuit, which is coming from the this PT. Now, from this you will see that we can vary the this trip and the restraint region also by varying the angle PC, theta PC. So theta PC, it can be varied by varying this capacitance in PT from the PT in this circuit. So it can be varied, and the trip and the restraint region can also be varied in this way. Now, let us suppose now we know the equation that T operating is equals to or is directly proportional to phi PC, phi CC, and sine of angle between the two. So we have angle between the two as this is angle theta and this is the angle theta PC. So sine of theta plus theta PC. Now, from the phasor diagram, we also know that that we have deduced that theta PC plus tau equals to 90 degree. That is this theta PC plus this tau, it is equals to 90 degree. So we are getting the value of theta PC. So theta PC is equals to 90 minus tau. Finally, substituting the value, we get T operating is directly proportional to theta phi PC, phi CC, then substitute the value of theta in that is theta plus 90 minus tau, and finally we are getting phi PC, phi CC, sine of theta minus tau plus 90, and which is equals to K, that is T operating, is equals to K theta PC, phi PC, then we have the phi CC and cos of theta minus tau. So from this you will see that this theta PC, it depends upon this voltage. So we will have, and this depends upon ICC. So finally, T operating is equals to, let us suppose, constant K2. Then it is VPC ICC cos of theta minus tau. Though this is the final operating equation in terms of the maximum torque angle. Since this is highly inductive, you can say that pressure coil is highly inductive in nature. So in that very case, the theta PC will be of the order of 70 to 80 degree. So it is highly inductive. So it is 70 to 80 degree, and as a result, the maximum torque angle in this case would be equal to 20 to 10 degree. So this tau, it can be adjusted by into any desired value by varying these varying components. That is, we have the capacitor and the resistor. We can do that, and as a result, we can vary the angle tau. One more point, this is actually the contact making wattmeter. In case of the contact making wattmeter, the circuit is highly inductive in nature. The circuit is highly inductive in nature. It means, what it means? It means that the in case of contact making wattmeter, so circuit is highly inductive. So what happens in that very case? We will have, let us suppose that VPC, then the IPC is 90 degree behind that. In case of contact making wattmeter. Now, for the production of the maximum torque, as you see that the maximum torque is directly proportional to phi PC, then phi CC, and sine of some angle, let's suppose beta. So this is coming from voltage and this is coming from the current. For the production of the maximum torque, the angle this should be equals to 90 degree. It means that in case of contact making wattmeter, it is producing the flux phi, so it should be 90 degree. That is, phi CC should be 90 degree. It means that we will have the here phi CC, that is ICC and phi CC here only. It means that the angle between the voltage and the current that we have discussed, it is the maximum torque angle. That is this one, angle between the voltage and the current. This is the current and this is the voltage. So angle between that was tau. That is the maximum torque angle. So since the angle in this case is 0, so contact making wattmeter has MT, maximum torque angle equals to 0 degree. Now the application of the directional relay to three-phase feeder. This is the discussion that we have done for a single-phase feeder. Now, for a three-phase feeder, in case of a three-phase feeder, all the phases are need to be separately considered, and there are various possibilities for energizing that relay, and that we can discuss in the next lecture. However, the directional relay must meet the following requirements. So we will have the application of directional relay. To a three-phase feeder. The relay must operate in for the forward faults. It must restrain during the reverse faults. And it must not operate during the faults for which it is not designed. And must not maloperate. So these are actually the following requirements for a directional relay. So what we have discussed in today's lecture, we have discussed the basic concepts related to the directional relay. In that, we have taken into consideration the fact that when the power is positive, in that very case, the torque is also positive, and the relay will have the positive torque and it will operate. And the range of that positive torque would be from plus 90 to minus 90 degree. That is P equals to VI cos phi, if you see this. Now, related to the operation of the relay, if you see, we have seen that contact making wattmeter, that in the contact making wattmeter, we had one coil, current coil, that is, we have the current transformer. So, and the current is coming from this current transformer, that is ICC, which is coming from current transformer. And the second, it is coming from the PT, and the current, that is voltage from the PT. PT will give us the voltage. So from PT, it will have the current of variable capacitance, variable resistance. Then this current is known as the IPC. Then here we have the VPC, and it will generate the flux. It will generate the flux phi cc, phi pc, and contact making disk is there, which is moving. So we draw the diagram in that very case. How we draw the diagram? We first start with the VPC, this one. From the PT, we are getting the VPC, and then we have VPC From the VPC, we have IPC, and the conductive, this is highly inductive in nature, but not purely inductive. So we will have IPC, then this will create the flux phi PC. Then for the maximum torque, this angle is the theta PC. Theta PC. So this relationship, this theta PC can be changed by varying the R and C. Now, for producing the maximum torque, this ICC and the phi CC, these are 90 degree. These are 90 degree for producing the maximum torque. Maximum torque condition is there. So these are 90 degree with respect to phi PC, because as you know the fact that torque is proportional to phi PC, phi CC, sine of some angle. Let us suppose it is beta. So these are 90 degree, and it is ICC for the maximum torque condition and phi CC for the maximum torque condition. And this angle between V base PC and the maximum torque position of ICC, this is known as tau. And this tau is the maximum torque angle. It is known as MTA. When you are going when you you are in some production industry, definitely you will know MTA. So what is the MTA there? Then you must have the idea that MTA is the relationship between, that is angle between VPC and ICC, and MTA is given by this 90 minus this tau. This MTA is given by this 90 minus theta PC. So this MTA is equals to 90 minus theta PC, and theta PC can be varied. Theta PC, it can be varied by varying these components. These are the varying components. And this is in case of the maximum torque position, and this line is known as the maximum torque line because we have the maximum torque position in that. So this is known as the maximum torque line. And also one condition is that the maximum torque is power is positive. That condition must be met, because power is positive, then in that very case the torque is positive. So that condition must be met, and it should be between plus 90 to minus 90. So it means that if we are taking this one, starting from this one, and then we are moving to this one, so this whole of the region is the region from plus 90 degree to minus 90 degree, and it is the trip region. So it is this region is the trip region, and this region, it is above plus 90 and minus 90. It is known as the restraint region, because in that very case, what happens, the power is negative and the torque is also negative. So this is how you can create. First you can write, whenever you are writing some drawing this this diagram, you will have first draw VPC. After that you draw the IPC. This IPC is basically the boundary of the trip and the restraint, and this relationship boundary can be moved. Let us suppose that boundary is here. We want to move the boundary to some other area. Let us suppose that we want to move the boundary. Then we have to decrease the value of theta PC, and theta PC can be decreased by varying this C and the R. So this will move then we have the boundary, then we have the MTA axis here, that is the maximum torque in that very case. This is all about this. The characteristics of the directional relay. So you have this. This is the restraint region. This is the trip region that you can design as per your requirement. So any questions related to that?